This podcast is for informational purposes only and does not constitute legal, tax, investment, financial, or other advice. It is not intended to cause or induce breach of an existing agency agreement.
This is the Victoria Real Estate Podcast. Hello and welcome to the Victoria Real Estate Podcast, where we discuss everything Victoria real estate. I'm Adrian Maclaren, and I'm joined by
Vincent, Baart,
and
Jocelyn, Cseff.
And we are realtors on the CityNest Team at RE/MAX Camosun in Victoria. Today we are joined by special guest Matt Rasmussen, who is the CEO of Rolling Tides Construction, founder of Ruth's Ice Bucket Challenge for ALS, and co-owner in both Rolling Tides Development and Northshore Haven. Hi, Matt.
How are you?
Thanks for joining us today.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
No problem. So before we get started, I kind of want to just dive in. One of the main driving forces of having Matt on the podcast today is we're actually working on the same project together. Matt's working a lot harder than we are.
I was going to say working, yeah.
But yeah, 1789 Emerson is a new development. Now, for those who don't know, it's 6 2 to 3 bedroom townhomes in the Jubilee area. What I think is special about 1789 Emerson is that it marks, in my mind, a new era of development in Victoria. Like the shift kind of towards more affordable, more sustainable living in Victoria.
And gentle density too.
Gentle density, yeah.
That's what really stuck out for me with this project.
So, these brand new townhomes, it's in one of the nicest areas in Victoria. They're priced between $775 and $825, which for brand new townhomes in the core of Victoria.
Incredible.
Yeah. Competitive.
Which I think is a nice shift from the $1 million plus townhomes that we've maybe seen in the past. So, Matt, can you just start on the podcast for our listeners who don't know you? Just a little bit of a personal summary background of yourself.
Yeah, for sure. I own Rolling Tides Construction. I have 2 kids. I have a wife. We do public sector work. We do private sector work. We do developments. We've been a carpenter since 2008. So it's kind of a bit of the history behind me.
Yeah, awesome. So going back to the very, very beginning, can you walk me through like how did you get into construction? How did you go from just working as a carpenter to owning your own construction company?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, out of high school, I was into construction and stuff like that, but I always had like an entrepreneur vibe in my body and stuff like that. Yeah. So I think it was like a natural progression. I knew that I didn't want to be on the tools for my whole life. Yeah. I love building teams and culture and some drive and put it all together. So
awesome. So how long after, I guess, being just a general contractor, did you transition to opening up your own company?
I'd like to be a carpenter. Probably 3 years after I started my apprenticeship. Yeah. I'd already started to dabble into side jobs and all that kind of stuff as you do when you're trying to survive in Victoria. It's an expensive place to live. Yeah. And then I had some good opportunities with the military to do some contracts there and stuff like that. So that was kind of my first branch into owning my own business. Right. And then kind of from there, it snowballed into what it is today.
Okay. And then did it start small? Like you just had a couple buddies that you would work with.
Yeah.
And then and now obviously you have a large team that's doing, larger scale stuff. So
yeah, it's funny. I think about like the back in the day and it was a lot of buddies and it was interesting to navigate being your friends' bosses.
Yeah.
And then as you grow, obviously you find different people, right seats, right people for right seats and stuff like that. Yep. But it's been a long, interesting journey for sure.
Yeah. Any of those friends still around today?
No one in our team anymore, but we're still friends.
Of course. That's good.
Which is good.
Hey,
could
well
go either way.
Done. You weren't that bad of a boss.
Did you ever have to fire anybody?
I did.
Oh. Yeah. That's always
multiple times? Did you ever have to fire the same person like 2 or 3 times?
No, but I have like one funny story. I had my best friend, actually roommate, was working for me and I had to fire him and he quit actually. He quit on the site, walked out to the end of the driveway, realized I gave him a ride to work. And I came back, put his tool belt back on and went back to work and we finished the day off. So those early days were definitely lots to navigate, but yeah.
Sure. Yeah.
That is funny. So one thing that I think that we have to touch on is that you and your family are the founders of Ruth's Ice Bucket Challenge for ALS. So, I mean, I remember doing the ALS, like Ruth's Ice Bucket Challenge back in 2022 or something like that.
Yeah.
2021.
It was trending through COVID, right?
Yeah. And just like watching my friends who play football, their team doing it and all this stuff. So and I never knew the full background behind it. So now to learn that it was you and your family, can you elaborate a bit on?
Yeah. So we weren't like the first big wave where they made like the huge movement. That wasn't us. My mom was diagnosed with ALS in 2022, so we just kind of tacked on to that. We're a family of people that try to solve problems, try to give back to the community. So she went through her battle. We did the challenge throughout the community. We would engage in different businesses in our network, and then they would nominate businesses in their network. So it kind of grew organically that way. Mm-hmm. But it gave us something positive to talk about, like while she was obviously going through her battles. And then
yeah. Did she enjoy watching the video?
Yeah, like it really. She enjoyed. She engaged. We did like one of the things that we did was. I'm the president of the Victoria Touch Football League here. So we did like a football one with 120 players that were there, and she was there and did the countdown and stuff like that. So she, again, just a positive thing to concentrate on while terrible things are happening in your family. So yeah.
Awesome. Good for you guys.
Yeah, thanks.
That's very cool. Now, one thing that I always like to ask people, so obviously you're very accomplished, you own your own business, you're a family man, you're pushing projects like Ruth's Ice Bucket Challenge forward, all this stuff. How do you manage everything? How do you balance it? Do you have any systems?
What are your apps?
I don't know. Not well at times and well at other times.
Yeah.
I think, I think that type A personality type that really is driven, like I don't love to relax. I enjoy what I do. Like I enjoy the grind and stuff like that. So you sit down in your chair and you read a book for like 30 seconds, and it's just like, what's the next thing we can accomplish here?
Yeah.
Balancing it, I don't know. You'd ask my wife about that, but
yeah,
but
I feel that. That's funny.
Yeah, good days and bad days.
Good days and bad days.
Yeah.
Yeah. As we all go through for sure.
Now reading your bio, it said your mantra is live a legacy, don't leave one.
Yeah.
Can you
Sure.
explain what that means to you, and how does that show up in your work? Or
yeah, I think it's probably like driven a bit from my mom being diagnosed so young and passing.
Mm-hmm.
That it's just like you don't have to wait until retirement to go enjoy your life, or you don't have to save every penny. Like, work hard, play hard. We travel close to 3 months a year, stuff like that. Like, you don't know how much time you have in this world. So work as hard as you can, but like also enjoy the time you have while you're here in the present though. So yeah.
Do you have any favorite spots that you're traveling reoccurs, or?
Yeah, we got a place up in Kimberley, BC, which a lot of people don't know where that is.
Do.
Oh, do you? Oh, nice. Okay,
I have a few friends from there. It's so cute.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. So small time in my high school life, I lived in Kimberley, and then that small town, whatever. It's just a great little place to go for a ski community. So we do like 6 to 8 weeks a winter there consecutively for the last 5 years, and it's been awesome. And a little bit of the summer, it's fall time for mountain biking and stuff like that as well. But yeah, our kids are like awesome skiers. It's a great place to be. So
what's the ski hill there?
Kimberly Alpine.
Oh, I've never been. Okay,
I've heard good things.
Yeah, it's nice.
I've been meaning to get up there.
You should. Yeah,
it looks really nice.
Cool. This is more big picture, but one moment in your career that really tested you. Can you think of anything?
Man,
like
these are some tough questions.
I know. I know Matt can handle it. I read his bio and I was like, this guy,
Yeah.
Like, nice to meet you, and then tell us about the toughest time you've ever lived through.
But like in your work related stuff, like something that tested you, and like what did you learn from it?
We did a development project kind of in the heat of COVID up in Lake Camosun, and we just hit the market wrong. Like we started building. Well, we thought we were going to hit okay. Put the first spoon in the ground. There was water in our site, like in a drought year. So that was like a huge change in scope of what we had to do. We actually ended up adding a third floor. We had to dig so deep to put a perimeter drain in the system. So long story short is we ran a development project that went over budget, and then by the time it was ready to sell, like the market had shifted. It was
right.
Yeah. So holding that, the capital that it took to hold that, put some strains on rolling tides, which is a never easy thing to manage, but we were able to power through and get through. And then now it's just today as a Airbnb and Lake Couch, and that my wife runs. So yeah, it's good.
No way.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Pivot.
You
got to pivot, right?
Right.
Pivot and make it work. Adapt.
What was the product that you guys were building there? Was it like
originally it was like a
duplexes or-
single family with a suite,
Yeah.
and then by the time we were done, it had 3 units. So
Okay.
like an executive top floor,
Right.
2-bedroom middle floor, and then a 1-bedroom suite down below.
Right.
It's it's great project. Like it's a great place to go visit and stuff like that. So if you guys are looking for an Airbnb this summer,
Is it available this summer?
It's
Yeah.
available.
Just
Yeah, for
looking.
sure. Yeah.
Is it waterfront or?
Yeah, semi-waterfront. So road, our place, the lake. And
Not
then
the basement though.
Not the basement.
okay.
No, not anymore. Not
Yeah.
anymore.
Okay.
And it's got a marina off that with like a public beach and stuff, sports court. It's on it's like leasehold land.
Nice.
So yeah, no,
Cool.
it's a great place to visit. We just put a sauna on it and a cold dip thing, and so we like actually really enjoy using it in the off
Yeah,
months when
I was
it's
gonna
I'm
say, like,
sold.
yeah, exactly.
You book a couple
Shameless
days
plug,
off.
North Shore Haven.
Yeah. Seriously.
That's awesome. I would love to transition a bit more outside of your personal experience, a bit more into your business, Rolling Tides. So obviously, Rolling Tides has grown a lot since you started it in 2012. Can you talk a bit about what has helped you scale to the size, I guess, without losing the quality throughout?
Yeah, for sure. So I think like a couple different things is like we have a very diverse clientele base. So we constantly we like really put effort into that. So we, public sector, DCC, Defense Construction Canada, schools, jails, municipalities. But then we do a private sector. So we do build homes, renovations, obviously six-plex is what we're talking today.
Mhm.
And we do some property management stuff, like just really keeping a well-rounded like amount of clients. Commercial construction as well has really helped us drive and scale. And on top of that, we've done some coaching programs that have really increased our ability to handle that work and put systems in place. I just came from a conference this week in Victoria through Highspire. Again, you're sitting with like top contractors all across North America, systems, tactics, what's working, what's not, marketplace stuff. So though working on your business, not just in your business, when you get to that point, that's when you're going to really see
Right.
growth and stuff like that. Yeah. So
Cool.
I'm curious just to jump in on that. There are, especially in like real estate spaces, there are endless books on how to build your business, and you can kind of get stuck in exploring all these different ideas, but the actual execution is what's always lacking. So how do you find that balance? Like you go to these amazing conferences, you're surrounding yourself with people that are hopefully 10, 15 years ahead of you, 2, 3x the business size that you're at.
mm-hmm.
How is it that you can focus on, the operations and keeping the shovels in the ground and the tools on the site, but also be, building out these incredible systems to scale?
Well, so the conference is attached to a coaching program I'm a part of called Highspire. And how the cadence of that works is we work off MVP, which is like a master business plan. 1 week we meet with my coach, and then every second week I meet with different businesses through North America on like a Zoom call. So they keep you accountable to your goals. So it really does like push like the systems and building out your framework for your business. So like it really gives you a spot to like, hey, here's your accountability piece.
Cool.
Here's the people to support you and help you and all that kind of stuff. And then on this, like on the in business kind of stuff with construction, then it comes down to like right seats, right people. So we built out a team that's now allowed me to take that time and work on the business, be less involved of the day-to-day operations.
That's great.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm curious, not to get
No,
too far
please.
into this rabbit
Yeah.
hole, but
I love
that's
rabbit
where
holes.
my brain goes. Would you mind sharing maybe one example of a specific task or initiative that you've done through this? It could have been in the last year, where you had this accountability, almost like a sprint. In project management, they'll have like a 2-week sprint and then make sure it all got done. Anything that you've been able to implement in that sort of framework that you've described?
I think like I went to just transition coaching groups. I was with BTA before, which is probably a more known group, and then now to this high
Breakthrough Academy?
It is, yeah.
I did. Oh man, I had a painting business like 8 years ago.
Okay, so
and
you knew the owners and stuff like that. Yeah, awesome. Yeah, so we were there for a while, and we went to the Winter Summit event in Dominican, and we set our goals for the year. So it was like every quarter had a different theme. So for us, financial controls was our first quarter. So we concentrated on that for the last 4 months or whatever. Well, now it's 6 months. We're still concentrating on it, but having the input from different CEOs or owners of companies on what we were doing, how you're sharing your financials, like you're sharing your dirty laundry, if it's good or bad,
scary.
stuff like that.
Yeah.
They see everything. You do like a 20-minute presentation every 2 weeks on like where you've come, where you're hitting your KPIs and all that kind of stuff. So the advice that they'd given leads that they had passed on for fractional CFO, stuff like that was really, really lots of drive, like lots of progress from that stuff with them was really good. So
Cool.
that'd be my example. Yeah.
Nice.
Okay.
Thanks.
Awesome. Matt, what do you think sets your team apart on site, especially when it comes to, I guess, like residential multifamily units, kind of like 1789 Emerson?
I think again, like we were growing when we had that slowdown after COVID.
Yeah.
So we were able to like pick up really good staff. Like it was, you had a lot of companies slow down, a lot of great guys came available. We were able to grab them. And then like through BTA or High Spire with the systems in place, we give them the framework to actually train them properly, give them the proper modules. So I think like that's part of it. And then back to the people we have, like they're driving, like we have just go-getters on site right now. So that's how we're accomplishing that in the time frames we are.
Yeah, no, that's super cool because I feel like retention in your type of business is probably not the easiest thing. So, what do you think?
Yeah, someone else offers you $2 more an hour, and you're like, "See you later."
Yeah. Do you think you guys have a good culture surrounding like what is it?
Probably one of our superpowers for sure. It's like culture. So like we do a lot of stuff with our team. Like one example I have from like growth of our business is we did a survey this year and we asked our team, like, what do you guys want? Like, is it more money? Is it lunches? Is it this? Is it that? And what it came down to, it really narrowed down to through guys that are in the field, like, you get your upper level management. Of course, they're going to ask for these kind of things, but guys in the field, and it came down to like self-development. It all came back to like, we want one-on-ones with the developer or the management team. We want to hear where we're at. We want like opportunities to go to school. We want opportunities for courses. So to see, 20 people in the field and like really circle around that like answer, it was like, whoa, we got a great team right now.
That's cool.
Yeah, totally. It really is.
I mean, they say people attract like-minded people in the end. So
you try. Yeah,
kind of makes sense. That's the kind of the culture at your work. So
yeah, thanks. Yeah.
And then speaking on, I guess, that development, is there a favorite kind of project that you like to build? It doesn't have to be multifamily. It can be whatever. Like, is there something that you and your team kind of, I guess, maybe it doesn't have to be specialized in, but more that you are actually like excited that you're taking on?
You definitely get like the certain projects walk in the door. We're certainly built off the public sector side.
Yeah.
So I think there's a lot of comfortability in that, and we like working with those guys. Like they're awesome clients. But you get some fun projects. Like we're at the Tudor House Liquor Store right now doing an addition there. We're at
awesome.
Camosun College. We're doing a couple projects there, which is like nice to like give back to the education sector and stuff like that. Like Cowden Secondary. I don't know if I could like narrow it down. The six-plex has been fun and they've been inspiring. So like we're doing Dale's project, obviously. But now our Rolling Tides Developments now picked up 2 properties as well. So we're in DP stage in a 4-plex and a 6-plex. So I think in the next 5 years, like we'll really invest deeply into that space and stuff like that. So
great.
Very cool.
Yeah.
That's exciting to hear. I like that.
Yeah. More houses.
Yeah, that's right. That's it. Yeah. Every shape, every kind.
Yeah.
We just
Totally.
need more of all of it. Yeah. So one of the things, speaking about this Tudor House Liquor Store project, that is one site. I just I'm on LinkedIn. That's like about as close to social media proficiency as I.
That's okay.
That's where I start and end. But you guys have done incredible marketing with videos, time lapses. It really not only shows off, from my perspective, the quality and the incredible product that you guys are creating, but also just the really fun culture that you guys have. How did marketing start? Like when I think of a construction company and I think of a developer, I don't think let's do some reels and get some drone shots going. And you guys are doing all of that, and you're doing it really well, I might add. So when did that start for you? How is that going? What's the direction and why and how? I have so many questions, but how's it going?
It's going really well, and we've got like lots of positive feedback lately. We've definitely put like a pretty decent sized effort into that. It came from our Dominican conference, actually. It was Marcus Sheraton, I think is his name, and he did a presentation on construction and marketing and how like the future of construction will be like based off of social media and stuff like that. Like we're not going.
What does that mean? Sorry, the future of construction will be based
sorry,
off of...
sorry. The future of marketing for construction and client leads and stuff like that will be through your social media. And, and there's, I think there's different levels of marketing you get through these things, like brand recognition, but lead to, I guess, lead to stop right here for 1 sec.
Yeah.
Yeah, cut that out. And then all right.
Do you want me to re-ask
Yeah,
the
re-ask
whole,
the
the whole
question.
marketing
Yeah,
thing?
re-ask the
Okay.
question.
Stumped them.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
because I asked like 800 questions in one paragraph. I'll try breathing and pausing. Okay. Thanks, Daniel. You can cut to here. So Matt, speaking of all these projects, and one project that really stood out for me is the Tudor liquor store project, the expansion project. The reason it stands out for me is you guys are absolutely doing an incredible job with your video content and the marketing around this. And one of the things I really love about it is it shows not only the product and the proficiency that you guys have as a team, but also it shows the culture and the fun. And I get the sense, although I have no aspirations of going anywhere near development, if I ever was, you guys would be a fun company to work with. And I'm just curious, like, it's a lot of effort to put into marketing, having these drone tours, time lapses. When did that all start? Why did it all start? And how's it going? And where is it going?
Yeah, well, thanks for noticing our social media. But we went to a conference again through Breakthrough in Dominican. There we had a guy named Marcus Sheraton come and speak, and he just really spoke about how to reach your audience and stuff like that. And so, like, one of our goals for our social media is like, what do we do? When you look at our social media, we want you to, without saying it, like in a written form, we want you to be able to walk away and go, this is what Rolling Tides does. So that's a big driving factor. Like when I talk to the team about what we're going to post, it's like, have that in the back of your mind. The second fun thing about our social media is we do it internally. So my EA is Madison, who's on screen often. You'll see in it and stuff like that. And she's just a firecracker, but she loves doing it. So it's like a bit of a give back thing to her, where we give her some projects that aren't so much fun, but you see her go there, get fired up, really enjoy the process. And then our video editor also works for our team, Stan. He's from Ukraine, and he also loves doing it. So it's kind of like a give back program. We have the people.
So this is like a passion project
It's a little
for
bit.
existing team members.
little bit.
I'm like, you're outsourcing. You got these people video editing somewhere.
Yeah. No, a little bit for sure.
Wow.
And then again, we don't want to just be your construction manager or your GC. We want to be your partner in your development. So like, for example, we're working with the MMS team. We did a bunch of social media stuff for them to try to improve their content. And it comes back to, how can we work with you, not just to build your place, but how can we help support you as a client? And then secondary to that is, they have 2 more projects on the go after this. So like, your success is our success. So that I think it's a worthy thing to lean into for sure.
So you guys are going to do Rolling Tides digital marketing as like a service. You just like throw it on the side. Like if you're a developer and you're like, hey, can you build this thing, but can you also market it?
Yeah.
We've been asked by different companies actually to help out, and maybe that's something in the future. But I think if you're a client of ours and we can help in that area, that's definitely something that we'll extend that service to.
That's great.
All free of
Yeah,
cost.
that's a great offering. Now, are you the master mind behind all the reels? Are you?
There was a part where I was like overseeing everything that went out, and they just did a great job. And like, honestly, they're younger and hipper. So I passed kind of the reins on, and realistically, out of the 30 posts I've done in the last 6 months, I've had one pulled off. I've pulled one off. Just say that doesn't really fit what we're trying to do here. But outside of that, it's been going really smooth.
Cool. Awesome.
Very cool.
I would love to transition now, maybe to talk a bit more about the actual Emerson 1789
Why we brought
Emerson
you
project.
here.
That's right.
Sure.
So how did you originally get connected to this project?
You guys had Dale Degagny on.
Yeah.
So I met him through Synergy Mastermind, which is like a real estate mastermind that's in based kind of out of Victoria, but it's all North America. So we met, funny enough, we live here, but we met in Blue Mountain, Ontario at a conference. Okay. And then I think, again, like people that are driven drive to people that are driven. So we became close friends with him right off the hop. Obviously had the few projects down the pipe, brought him into our office and showed him what we do, and eventually we were awarded the project to build Emerson out. So that's kind of the history. What
stood out to you when you first saw I guess this is the first missing middle project coming to fruition in the Victoria core.
Mm-hmm.
So when you saw it, were you kind of surprised, or is this something you'd seen before, or?
You've seen similar projects, I guess, through different bylaws.
Yeah.
So not surprised. My takeaways, like right off the hop, was like, what a great way to use space. Like we obviously have a housing problem. Affordability is going to be a problem in the future. So this gives you the ability, like as the owner, to take $1 million of the property, turn it to $4 million of the real estate. And then as the end user, you're not living in a 60-person condo, you're in a 6-person kind of townhouse, which is, I think, appealing to a lot of people.
Yeah. I would say a lot of buyers.
And that was a style that we've seen in our market going back to maybe the 90s, all these large heritage conversions that were then stratified.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like you guys are starting with that as like it. 1789 Emerson.
Working backwards from that.
It looks like a town. It looks like a conversion of a heritage home, and I think that it fits the neighborhood so well.
Yeah.
You have walked by dozens of these types of homes. They just were built 80 years ago and have poor soundproofing, whereas now it's purpose built. They've got all of the amenities that they've packed in that a modern buyer needs. So I think it's perfect form factor.
I think it's nice too because, you know, there's this fear obviously that people have with some of these new bylaws that their neighborhood is going to completely change. All of a sudden they're going to have a condo building shoot up beside them and, you know, everything, it's not going to look residential anymore. So that's one thing I love about 1789 Emerson is that it's still keeping the integrity of the neighborhood. But agree. Providing something that people need.
Like it's not a blacked out modern flat roof.
Because that's honestly, but we have so many conversations with people that are terrified of that where this is not that, so it's great.
No one likes development in their neighborhood. But like the world moves on, and it's it's part of the process,
making it as easy as possible.
Now talking about, I guess, more about the actual development, finishes, layout, mechanical systems, is there anything in there that you are proud of, or that you guys are going a bit above and beyond in terms of
what stands out there?
What can we use to sell it?
Please give us more marketing material.
I think the layout of the units is like something that they really put good thought into. I think, you know, like City of Victoria is big on the bike side of things, but I think if you are going to live in this like community to embrace that, like there's some good opportunities there. And then finishings, they're all high end, a very efficient building. So it'll be a building that like lasts a long time. It's a good place to buy for sure.
The one thing that I really like about the 2 bedrooms is it kind of has that single family feel where you have your living space, and then you're going up your staircase, and you have the 2 bedrooms upstairs. You have the privacy of that, which, and I think a lot of I guess more of like the heritage homes in the past, like,
you wouldn't have that.
No.
There's a itty bitty.
What have you guys experienced any challenges in bringing Emerson to fruition over the course of building?
I think Dale would say the municipality.
Wouldn't that be every?
We can echo that too in our projects. I would say logistically, like they're very tight sites and stuff like that. So you really have to have like a real good plan on how you're going to build and construct. Start from the back out. You don't get a piece of machinery on the back end of that once you put the foundation in place. So you have 5 feet from property lines to house. So logistics have been difficult. We're next to one of the cancer clinics that also has a renovation going on in it, which has, you know, so now you're fighting for territory to get cranes in and do all those kind of things. But that'd be the biggest challenge for sure.
Okay.
But you're still ahead of schedule.
Yeah, we're crushing it.
It's been incredible.
It's unheard of. I actually was telling some realtors about this the other day, and they're like, "Not possible, not with new build." I'm like,
ahead of schedule.
They're ahead of schedule.
We're
see,
it's going well.
Heard it from the mouth.
So just kind of finish off a couple questions kind of relating to insights, legacy, vision for moving forward in your business and your life. You've built for obviously public sector, you know, you built for schools, like you've said, and then obviously developments and stuff that we've talked about, like Emerson. What's your big picture hope for construction on Vancouver Island for the future? So not speaking specifically to you, but like, you know, where do you see things going, or do you see any trends changing?
Well, I think there's going to be a changing of wealth in the next 10 years. I think that they're talking about. So you're going to have a lot of single family homes that are going to get passed over to their kids and stuff like that. I don't know if this generation can afford to carry those homes. So I think you're going to see a lot of these infill projects. Like that's what we're going to be marketing in the future is partnerships with landowners and stuff like that. Let's, like, if you want to turn again $1 million of the real estate into 4, let's help you do that and stuff. So I think this market is going to be a strong market in the future. And if you're sitting behind a pro forma, it's one of the only ones that pencils out right now. So that's what we're going to concentrate our time on.
Okay.
So if you're a listener at home and you've just inherited a home and you're like, I can't afford the property taxes on this thing, what's the ideal lot size? Like, what's the ideal, if you could speak to one person who's watching this or listening to this, what are you looking for?
Yeah, like if you have a house that doesn't have a lot of value in the house itself, but the land has the value, we're looking for you guys. The 6,000 square foot lot's pretty ideal.
Okay.
No trees or no Gary Oaks would be ideal. Flat lots, good neighborhoods, stuff like that is really like what we're looking for.
Yeah. Is there any deal breakers in terms of, I guess, like you mentioned,
Gary Oaks
stuff, but
Gary Oaks are a
in terms
tough one.
of corner lot versus interior versus width, length.
Yeah, depends, I guess, but like there's definitely like a due diligence list that can just knock properties off right off the hop. Like an example is like we have a property on Paradise. It'll be a 4-plex, hopefully sometime this year, and we're 2 houses down from the tsunami zone, and you can't do multis in the tsunami zone. So like having a really good due diligence list on your just to be able to tick that off the box and go, this property's not viable, can save you guys a lot of time, or save whoever's looking into their developments a lot of time. So
Okay. Yeah. And then kind of the same question, but more focusing on Rolling Tide's future, 5-10 years. Or where are you guys heading? Are you guys kind of status quo, slowly building, or is there?
What's the game plan, Matt?
Yeah. You can just lay it all out.
Well, it was back to the conference this week. I heard last week. Sorry, I heard a great comment from one of the developers out of Dallas, and he said, "We found great growth when we became our own best client," and I think that is somewhere that we're trying to head with Rolling Tides development. So, our goal for this year was 70% still in that public sector space, and then 30% development. And as we grow and as we build equity in the company and take retained earnings and put that in development, so I think we'll increasingly shift to that development side. We're definitely still in growth mode. But yeah, like a self-running company is what the goal is at the end of the day. So
nice. One day when Matt wants to retire.
One day.
Yeah. Kimberly all year round.
Exactly.
Awesome. So, what type of advice would you give a young tradesperson or a young entrepreneur that was like, you when you were 20, trying to follow in a similar path? They look up to you and they're listening to this. Is there any advice that you would give that person?
Yeah, I feel like the young entrepreneur is slow to take advice. So I did a lot of things my own way for a long time, and it wasn't until probably 5 years ago where I got into coaching programs and I looked for mentorships. And it's like, you don't have to reinvent the wheel. It's already been done. Find someone that sits in a seat that you want to sit in one day and follow their lead and listen. So that's what that'd be my advice.
Yeah, I think that's really good advice. I need to listen to that. So Matt, we finished all of our questions in relation to, work, school.
You're done.
Yeah,
I'm done.
All the hard hitting questions are done. Do you have time for a couple of fun questions?
Sure.
Yeah, cool. Yeah. Do you have a book, podcast, or resource that you would recommend that you're listening to? Or
obviously the Victoria Real Estate podcast.
Thank you.
That's our number one answer.
That's how I wake up.
But no, just like in your past, is there a book or a podcast or anything that you really hit home for you that you?
Extreme Ownership. I just finished that. Jocko
Willink.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, so I think like that was a big shift to my business too, in regards to just looking in the mirror before I look out the window kind of deal. Podcast, I like Chris Williamson, Modern Wisdom, I think it's called.
Yeah,
that's a good one.
Okay, awesome. Now on the opposite side of entertainment, what's a guilty pleasure? TV show, music, anything. Like what are you binging right now?
I like to go back to like 90s movies. So it's probably like Mel Gibson, Bruce Willis. I'm actually like rewatching The Sopranos.
Nice.
So yeah, that's
Sopranos is good.
It is good. It still stands out.
It still stands.
Oh my gosh, it's so good. Yeah,
that's awesome. That's a good answer. And then
does that? I'm just gonna throw. I've got a question there. Does that throw? So when you're watching a show like that, do you show up to work like you go to a job site and like you find yourself like tempted to use a line or a tactic?
Channel a little Tony.
Yeah.
I should.
Yeah. Pull it back a little bit.
I don't, but I should.
It's got some good lines.
That's awesome. One purchase that you've made in the last year or couple years under $1,500 that has changed your life. Could be a vacuum. Could be
this one stumps a lot of people.
Yeah. It could be
the Ray-Ban Meta glasses.
Do you use those?
I love them.
What is
No
it? Are those the ones with
way.
the fancy?
It just records. It doesn't overlay anything. It just is video, right?
Yeah, it's video. It's got like AI. Like you can just be like, "What am I looking at right now?" And it'll take a picture. A guy sitting at a table. So, what's the weather here today and stuff like that. And then like for conferences or anything for social media and stuff like that, like it's just it's awesome. It's actually like great camera quality and stuff. So we'll do like Bossman Diaries from driving in my truck to different job sites and just little clips of that and stuff like that. So,
right. So for you, instead of having to think about pulling out your camera and recording some content, you just go boop.
Yeah.
Or is it on constantly or
no. You can take a picture or video. Like I guess like secondary, I heard someone talk about at the conference. They're like, how and it's super true, but how your kids kind of see the phone come out when you try to take a picture. They're doing something cute. You want to take a picture of them. Yeah. And like my daughter just goes like, Dad, no. So with this, I can kind of sneak in the pictures and stuff like that.
A couple more memories getting saved.
Exactly.
Not like our parents with the
big camera.
Camcorders.
Exactly.
Now it's just right here.
Totally.
That's funny. I haven't actually met anyone that owns or uses those glasses.
No,
cool.
They're awesome. Yeah, they're awesome.
Cool. And then if you could own any property in BC for free, where would it be?
I don't know.
I feel like
somewhere, probably somewhere, Victoria or this area, ocean front would be like the ideal. Like definitely, something like that.
I've got a great listing, and it's waterfront.
This is
with the
dock.
dock.
I like it. I like it.
Yeah.
Nice.
Can you have it for free though?
Yeah.
Right.
Awesome. Okay. Well, Matt, thank you so much for joining us today. Is there any contact info or plug that you want to give for our listeners if they want to check more out about you or Rolling Tides? Or
follow us on Rolling Tides on Instagram and LinkedIn and all that kind of stuff. Ruth's ALS Ice Bucket Challenges on Instagram as well. Follow us there. That's great though. Thanks for having me in, guys. That's been awesome.
Thanks,
thank you for coming.
This is great.
Awesome. Well, thank you for listening to the Victoria Real Estate Podcast produced by the CityNest team. We have had some fantastic reviews and we love them. So please leave us a review on Spotify, Apple Music, or wherever you are listening. We also really appreciate you guys sharing the podcast with friends and family. Otherwise, Vince, Jocelyn, how can people get in touch?
Send me an email, vincent@citynest.ca, or follow me on LinkedIn.
Ooh, you're adding that in.
I'm adding that, yeah.
Wow. We're expanding. You can call me at 604-907-2074.
Awesome. And you can reach out to me, Adrian, at 250-464-4122 or on Instagram at Adrian Real Estate Victoria. Thanks, guys.